We adofnom enen so yema mu nyina jo ema matana se e de ba home based TV. Evangelist. Akwa ba bi.
Yeah.
The shut door message part 3. E de nyankopon se me ka kire.
Right. Yeah, the nyankopon se. Ya ba bi. Da bia se da ne dia.
That's right.
My 3-4 no e de ne Jonathan Adade. Say ye Canada. Say be
okay. Jonathan Adade. That's right.
Yeah. Jopeni ya that's no correction.
Okay.
I mean shroud. Yes, the shut door message. Ne nyina no say. Ansana onyankopon. Onyi nanim so wa beje ye no. Na wodi kan atopum.
That's right.
Adesua no de ye de bono tofa nyina ni. Ebi ni say ye beka de be me de kan aka. No abreso. Ansana osuo no bae no nipa ni hu safe osuo no to no. Enye sa abre nyankopon otu adaka no.
Okay.
Otu mu ansana osuo no ba.
Pese den so kra ansana
sa pepe
osuo no ba. That's right.
Sa anso na ye be hye Sodom. Ye di oja be hye Sodom. Eno nso so no ye to omupum ansana oja ne firi soro ba.
That's right.
Sa anso na me pese ye kai enne Christopher ne wiase nyina ase. Ansana wiase ye ba no. Nyakopon bedi kan atopunu a ontimi nyinkwa bi.
Okay.
Ansana wiye na ba.
Ono so no tun obi mi. Obi ezu obi ntimi ntum.
Ano. Enti no ebe nipa binum se wo ye wo bre. Na omadwen be baso no. Ebre no no mo se ye bre no. Na eye bre ampa so nyiso.
Okay.
Na eno na ye mpese ebe ye binu.
Ebe to wo mpofrim.
Na ahase so eto binum. Ye kono ebi amepopo din bi.
Okay.
Na nyankopon onpeti ntupunu mu keke. Obokoko.
That's right.
Ti kokobọ no eko a na ede aprono so ntumu nenam. Opo a ye yu afirim, opo a ye yu afirim. Sa na ede.
Okay.
Ye we ye ntwentwen so ye wesi time owe mu. No adaka. Nipa no efrese no wa sha se wo pa mu se osuo beto nyankopon menya adaka no. Di obekomu no se da no a no osinadwen pi.
That's right.
The one corner, when you den wakas one corner, one
Who picture ko sinku be hwiri
sa. Enti de wura ye boy sa na tie. Na Yesu ka asem bi wo Matthew asempa 3:9 chichemu 9 any edisem 3:9 chichemu nsia Matthew 24:14 Revelation 14:6-7. On say Yesu ka asem ne ye beka asempa ahini wa asempa
wiase nyina e dia dance
amanyina mu.
That's right.
Sa statement no. Enti no ahini wa asempa no eno na oka se ye nka na obisa sa asempa ben a enne wo edisem 3:9 no se na wo ye chi no me hu obofo fra otunam awiem na
okura da sempa koka kire na otete asase so
eno
musuro nyankopon
yes
mo hye na ni monyam fi se na tebudon adu
eno anu we ni asem a ye beka wo wiase afa na nyina e dia dia dance
okay
ansa na wiye na ba enti wiase wiye no enhye da nye biribi potin a ye beka se Jesi kunku nipa wiase nyina wi ansa na wiase wi aba da bi eye kokobon kransem na dinam na kokobon kransem no eno na nipa ne airport no na chese omo afri adom ase.
That's right.
Ti ebasa na epono so emotoko mo so nyankopon na mo che na ni onyam no onyankopon ben ya homeda emranse no mu no eni hu so onyankopon
Okay.
Omo pa omo nyi homeda ni mfirim no mo nkyere ye baabi potia ebenya oba mo biu eye nyakopom ransem du no wo se wo fa nyakopom ransem du no a ba ko pe ena kyere de eye o nyakopom.
That's right.
O hwe etre du no kyemu du mienu na me de mo se meto so me Exodus o so se na enansia na Erade ebo osoro na asase Erade na wo no ko fa eye Hebrew kasa no a nyakopom de kasa kyere Israel no a edie wo no eye Yahweh Jehovah.
Okay.
Enti no enansia ena Jehovah obo osoro asase epo ne minema nyina. Enti wante hwe kura no emra no mu de ya twere se de obo so na asase epo ne minema nyina de fa ne Jehovah.
That's right.
Ordinansia ena boy to oyo obo ade
Mo
sanity ena o hira sa da no so ena o temu ya no kronkron.
That's right.
Enti no se onipa kai sa da no na si ne
no kronkron.
Enti wo kai no enye se wa sore no a wanya dwuma bia na wo kwa sore na hia. Nembo de hia pa ne se wo ji atom se ono nyankopon.
and the boss soro I say epo
eno ne key no ene safoa no enti obi biara ohome Nyankopon home da mu no na de all pai de da dansi ni tina bofo ne kan se soro so Nyankopon de o kan se so Nyankopon o kan wan kan si wo si de obo so na asase o twa adwen si so
na te bia ye wo anyame bi ho na mu me kire de me kan ho asem no se no ne obo so ene asase po ne de wo mu nyina
se Nyankopon ne beba enti no sa da sempa no ewo wo bie mu a anakse se wo san hwehwe mu a ewo ahyenso nneoma bi wom wo benya wanya kwara benya be ye nan
okay
medical ka ba ko se e ma hu so Nyankopon ono bo so na asase
that's right
odi ne homeda esia no esan de so ano
okay
enti homeda ne kire adebo ahyenso de ye se owie ne manyina abo no na obo homeda
that's right
enti wode so ne homeda no eno kan se
na debo ano
yes also na debo ano eno kan se na tembo don no adu atembo no Kristo Yesu ena ebuate
that's right
ono nso no so ne yeso popani na kyerɛsɛm kyerɛ sɛ ɔwɔ ɔsoro konkron bia ɛhɔ no wɔ enti ɛhɔ kora ɛsan so ɛka Yesu Kristo ne adwuma a wɔyɛ sɛ sɔfo pani no ɛka kyerɛ yɛn
that's right
so ho afei ɛsan sɛ ɔka sɛ na atemmo dɔ no adu nti no atemmo nso Nyankopɔn de ne mmara nsɛm du no ɛna ebu atɛn
that's right
enti asɛm akona so ɔbɔfo no aka no kakra yɛyi yɛfiri mu mpo nie
emu dɔ paa
ɛna afei ɛbɛkɔ wie no ɛhɔ a ɛna ɛbɛkyerɛ dodo a yɛbɛfa atemmo mu anya nkwa no wɔ mo na ɛba bɛwie korakora sɛ ɔmo ne Abraham asefo a bɔhyɛ Nyankopɔn hyɛ Abraham abiribi no afei na bɔhyɛ no bɛbɛ mu saa berɛ no
ɔmo yɛ didifo
ɔmo saa enti no asɛmpo abaako no aka sɛ mo nso Nyankopɔn na menhyɛ no anuonyam fi sɛ na atemmo dɔ no adu no sɛ yɛtase mu kakrakra ɛnan wadi binya
okay
na mepɛ sɛ me tuma yɛnuanom SDA fo mɛmɛda apanyɛfoɔ
okay
sɛ sesei no bibia ko gyina mo so ne senti a meka ne saa ne sɛ bosome mienu ni asɛm mɛkɔ so aka de go sɛ wiase bɛsa na dwen bosome mienu mu ne yɛwɔ yi asi October 4 sesei November 4 abɛtwam ɛna December 4 so abɛtwam enti yɛnya bosome mienu
that's right
sɛ da no na wiase nyinara ɔsoma hodoɔ ɛkɔka ɛho bɔɔ mu ɛwɔ Vatican na ɔbɛde nsa hyɛ krataase sɛ yɛde akwankyerɛ ne nhyehyɛ bi ɛma amanaman mpanimfoɔ nhyia mu a ɛbaa so ɛwɔ Glasgow Kano COP26 sɛ atwerɛ na ɔmode ka ma amanaman mpanimfoɔ no ɛmu nsɛm baako yɛ sɛ yɛmfa kwasɛ dansi hɔ na yɛmfa nyɛ homeda
ɛma wiase
ne pa nyina
okay
fine saa sɛ na waka no menka sɛ yɛ bɔne na mmom ɔmo kɔhyɛ ne mmara na ɔmo deɛ no ɛbɛkente Nyankopɔn mmara nsɛm du no so a ɛyɛ homeda no so a
okay
ɛhɔ deɛ ɛyɛ bɔne
so ɔmo hyɛ kosi adamra sɛ ɛyɛ ahomegye da ɛma
wiase nyinaa
na yɛyi nyame homeda na yɛ memene yɛ firi hɔ no
ɛfiri hɔ a
ɛno de abɛyɛ bɔne
meka sɛ ɔmo yi firi hɔ a kyerɛ sɛ ɔmo amfa ne die amma Nyankopɔn homeda no sɛdeɛ bɔfo no ka sɛ mo nso Nyankopɔn no hyɛ ne nnuonyam no so ɔmo fa saa nnuonyam hyɛ ne amma Nyankopɔn na ɔmo de nnuonyam hyɛ ne kɔma kwahia da de a na hɔ no nkɔm hyɛ nabam enti ɔsoma hodo akɔ sensan da nyinaa no ya bobɔ din no a ha na mɛkɔ soara ɛziefo ɛyɛ memeda akwanyofoɔ so mo wiase nyina ɔmo pɛ na saa meeting no ɔmo ankɔ bi ɔmo nso na mo akɔsan bi
that's right
ti sɛ no wiase no emu akyɛ mienu awi ti ɔmo ɛna sɛ na ɛsɛ ɔmo bɔ mo nua no mo nkɔ san saa de saa de no sɛ ɔmo kɔ bɔ mo kɔkɔ fi sɛ bebe na nim sɛ adeɛ no bɔne bi ɛwɔ mo sara ɛna afei meka kyerɛ yɛ nua no mo aka nyinaa ɔsom bia wo wiase nyinaa sɛ oyo obi a wanya bere sɛ wopɛ da nkwa wopɛ heaven a me paacho nkyerɛkyɛ na de fokuta no kɔ na kosua ne di so sɛ ɛbɛhawa ɛne kɔgye nkyerɛkyerɛ no fa bɛkyerɛkyerɛ wɔ asɔre
that's right
de bɛmmerɛ pa ne sɛ wo ne wasɔ nyinaa no muntu na monkɔ asio sɛ papa no a ɛno a yɛkɔ no mampɔn sɛ
that's right
ɔno wɔmpɛ ne berɛ wɔmpɛ ne hwii nti no asɔre no pam no twa no wasesa na afiri kwasi ada de akɔ memenda
that's right
wabɔ asu ne nasafo ma ɔgu nkyerɛkyerɛ so ɛno bi ne yɛka no sɛ wohwɛ na ne yɛbɛyɛ wo den a wode to nsa frɛ ziefo ɔmbɛboa wo sɛ bɛtimi so a wakara so to anamo
that's right
ɛnwɛsi time ɛnkwagye ne baabiara biem sɛ wiase ne wakyɛ mmienu na ɛkuo baako no deɛ ɛntimi nyɛ yie fi sɛ nhyehyɛ no ɔmoyɛ no ɛnyɛ yie na sɛ Ebebo no more. Make I say October 4, 2021. And no more meeting.
Okay.
Ebebo videos back home you said they can first 3 videos.
Okay, I don't know say we can and then your videos mark 10. I which in same month. Best production some more crowd videos 1 to 3. Madaruma Murumai.
Oggi a Glasgow, in Scozia, comincia il vertice delle Nazioni Unite sui cambiamenti climatici, COP26. Preghiamo affinché il grido della terra e il grido dei poveri venga ascoltato, che questo incontro possa dare risposte efficaci, offrendo speranza concreta alle generazioni future. In tale contesto si inaugura oggi in piazza San Pietro la mostra fotografica Laudato Si, opera di un giovane fotografo originario del Bangladesh. Andate a vederla.
And I now invite those wishing to join the pagan prayer here in George Square and wherever you are in the world to do so.
O Great Spirit, O Sacred Ones, you are the wind that breathes upon the ocean, the wave that sways and splashes upon the shore, and the creak of the boat as it gently rocks upon the water. You are the beasts of field and sea communing with the earth. Winged creatures flying through the air and the fire to life on this small planet, healing and protecting it the best we can. It is the season of Samhain, of All Hallows Eve, and for some the beginning of a new year. It is the season when darkness grows before the fallow time, when the veil between spiritual and earthly worlds becomes thin. And although we follow different paths, we call upon our ancestors of spirit and history, blood and bone, to forgive us and help us carry on. Today, we ask those who are meeting at this hallowed time, making decisions about the future of our planet, to take into account what we already know to be true. This earth is our mother, our father, our source, our hearth, our home. We exist because it exists. It is long past time to stop taking for granted and destroying this home which gives us all we need. We pray that instead, those conferring today listen and they act with wisdom, conscience, and compassion for the sake of our earth and the generations to come.
I don't know your sign, but more power view. Yes, Reneso, someone are papa. But evangelist wouldn't be so kind Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 9 to 14. Bible said, Semudra Sase Radimunian Copon de Mocosona, Munsia, Amanama, and Chiwadio. Or boss, Haniama, we Numinaso, and yet then the Christus song, and it's halfway cup of money.
Sir, what the Bible need this on your Copon Masama, when you're the way.
Okay,
sir. Sir, a Jacon Corporal Francis, video de Cana boy. So no can say a mompaye. Yes, I'm penning for Echo Share of Glasgow.
That's right.
Na Onyankopo Unti, Mobrowa Fosu, any assassin, Bra or Bread Unti Nisu, Ye mompaye.
Okay.
Sana for Francis Guy. And no san can say what the Humayela that to see, what a common penning for no Glasgow. Tia mompaye. No more come pass umpire no bon. Bakone, Mamea, or bompaye.
Also, second money.
Send it dear by Reverend Linda Hagestone.
Na come for balance with the reverend.
Omo de brofo ka ho se oye pagan prayer. Ona obo abosusu for mpaye. Nene de waja ton se friend pagan reverend. Minti ka se pagan priestess. Ya say reverend.
That's right.
Brofo no na me so make am.
Okay.
Onu mponu omo eye tro no so reverend, right? And ono bo mpaye se Brofo say, although we follow different paths, was it almost say Obia and not quite.
That's right.
And so you're afraid and ananom samanfo. You're afraid ye fra bakosem ye fra moja ye so afra numpe
so on fire bonning
nche
on meka ye
ai na se ja konkropon France ye empire empire no no so ogitum se mami your conference on beka on empire mami elkom frɛ anananom samanfo ni moja ni numpe no eno no nyankopon ben ya
because Bible say nyankopon time for the consulted the spirit of the dead
entina me to amazie for se be yade ne duru no asem na aka wo se ye nyina e kan ne se munsoro nyankopon na mo hye na ni wonyam.
That's right.
Pese sa maame confusion ko nim so nyankopon no pa e na wo ye se dia Bible ka se wa ye boni ayi ntimi mfanche so nim dia e na eze fo mo nka ye
okay
no nim so a ye nkoso mo de wuro no adiko sise e kwa ne besi.
That's right.
Now and entina me kan sa Bible an kan kire se obiare ntimi nkwa ja ne nchen Jesus na me so Yesu Kristo na kasa no.
That's right.
Fine. Entino asori ne osoma hodo ko hia wo Glasgow na ombo mpaye ekom ye kanche no na hwan ne Yesu afre no pese Kristo Yesu wan kire yensa Bible so an kire sa se ye mo sa mpaye ni bi
oyi nyankopon ni nkonfo nti woni sa tumi no eni kaka bia
enti Hebrews 9:24 no kire mu se Yesu Kristo gire nsa ne jansa ne faso.
That's right.
Oni mo ja na pata and no 1 John 1:7 you want the woman de kan tire ba ko che mu so o se ne ba Yesu Kristo mo ja no ene horo ye mo fe boni nyina.
That's right.
Sa entino de wiase nyina hyeda e de yensa ko hya se bi so o kinkan o mankasa sei osoma wo wiase nyina no oboa no wo ha e mo nche mo de wotwe 84%.
That's right.
E na ko hya na 16 aka no eno eye wo yi memendafo ni firi mu a wo mo aka ne ye anyinifo asa enti kamia se wiase nyinara osoma hodo na akọ se empa ye ama me bebo ye yagitum mo so eni won ekọbọ mpa ye nyina no ye gibia tum obi a gibia tum sa sem no eye echiwade onyankopon ni so so de Bible mo a eye echiwade onyankopon ni so.
That's right.
Enti no so onyankopon no a Bible ebo ni din no ono na make treze for se omumpa mu enka sa onyankopon ho asem enkyere wiase no
omo ntwi wiase nyina adwene isi sa nyankopon do so.
Thank you. Afenso so no empire omo bo no se nka bibi fro so no omo ebo sa empire no de aka memeti nka fam ho nemo omo bo empire se ye wiase no awie mu ewo mu na sakra e de amanihu eba sa ase so
Ewie mu ayehye ensu oyiri fayen
pepe putra ni hye nyoma bi sese wa manone na ade enti ye mo empire ma onyankopon ontie na mpanimfo hye omo ikoye Glasgow no enti membrɛ mu enti e science omo bo so onyankopon ni din e won ba hia se e bebo nkokɔ se e kwan ye omo de wiase ne nam so no enye ba bo kwan so a
okay
enti so se onyankopon no bo so na asase no omo so afra ne de a ene e kwan na nwumre yi ye pam de aka kyerɛ se Bible se mun so no de obo so na asase e puni manyema nyinara de odi nansia ye de homeda kan no so onyankopon no enti so onti mu mpa bo no a osika ne homeda ne sie ne konkron na eno nkyerɛ se ampa sa onyankopon na wo frɛ no.
That's right.
Na sa anananom samanfo ne mogya ne nompani de Bible ankasa ye nkɔ no sa tino ɔsɛ ye na ekoso ye nyem video kakra nkyerɛ nipa na ye sɛ sampa ye no mobɔ no ebetimi sa ɔsɛ ye no. Yes.
And even Proverbs chapter 28 verse 9 no kra ka sɛ do yi na so firi onyankopon mbrɛ tie ho no ne mpa e bompo ye chiwade
aye chiwade
enti mpa ye ya omobɔ yi no e chiwade
bebree.
Okay. Production sabaya crowd of videos 4 to 6 modaruma murumai ne hwa to range mo akoso.
Take a look at this video right here. Devastation in Mayfield, Kentucky, after a tornado ripped through that town of about 10,000 people. And Brandon Clement is a storm chaser who captured this video, and he's joining me right now on the phone. So Brandon, as we look at these pictures, I mean, it looks like just a giant steamroller just came on through, knocking down everything in its path except for a couple of resilient buildings there, right there. This looks like a historic brick building that we're looking at right here, and your drone footage captures it. So tell me about your experience along the way, as you were also able to capture these images.
Well, I started off in Arkansas and waited for the tornado to come up towards the I-55 corridor. I knew it was going to be fast moving, and it was going through some pretty rural areas of Arkansas. Once it crossed over the I-55, Interstate 55, just along the Arkansas-Missouri line, it crossed over about 300 yards in front of me, through a bunch of 18-wheelers and semis and a couple different roads right there. It cuts over and crosses the river into Tennessee. and then came up. I went down into Arkansas and went to Leachville, and unfortunately, there was a fatality there. I talked to several people, a lot of destruction there, and made my way up into the Kentucky area. But when I got to Mayfield, it was just it's no comparison to what I'd seen so far in the past.
South Sudan right now, after severe flooding hit the country, the worst in nearly 6 decades. The environmental crisis is affecting more than 700,000 people and isolating parts of the country. CNN's Clarissa Ward is in South Sudan, reporting on the toll it's taken on residents.
Just 4 months ago, this was a bustling town of 11,000 people. Then the floods came, biblical in scale, leaving it submerged underwater and largely cut off. As we arrive in Ding Ding, there are few signs of life, just some belongings stashed in the treetops. The only protection from the waters that have inundated much of South Sudan.
So this entire town has been flooded since August, and the waters are still getting higher and higher, even though the rainy season is now over.
Hi.
A group of women catch sight of us and want to talk.
Hi. Where are your homes? Have your homes been destroyed?
They survived years of vicious civil war here. But these floods may pose the greatest threat yet. They tell us their crops have been completely destroyed.
So what are you living on right now? What are you surviving on?
That is a very unusual sight. A dead giraffe inside a wildlife conservancy, and yet we are told that at least 11 of those have been found within months. And it is not just giraffes that are affected, it is all wildlife. There's no pasture, there's no water for them. This is the way of life here, pastoralism. Owning livestock is everything. It's a source of livelihood and wealth.
Ile ambayo imebaki ni 30. Sasa imemalizika na 140. Ile ambayo imefungua pale hakuna pasture area. xoolahan ilaahay baa shilisay asoon baan haddana laaynaay waxa ilaahay oo maadayna wax aad wax ka qaban kara ma laha
nafku nool baan ahayn hada xoolaha haday dhintaan dadkii wuxuu ku sugan yahay maxay la qatar buu ku sugan yahay kole irsaaqada ilaahay baa bixiya laakiin qatar baa lagu sugan
Adofum yesan emama kwa babio emse yakwa ko hwe videos no na de obonsoro ne asase no okasa na wona waso no de obete de honhom na kacha asafo no
ai wenu any empire ma me no bo gu frama mu no se ye boss empire no a osuo beto emwa no benya esrawe kama wonu de America frama fa ho meme enra atwam na awotwe frama fa o mankasa mo frɛ no tornado edifa Kentucky Edin Grunsian, Louisiana, Arkansas, Num, Tennessee. A deeper one, the economy. Wow. Omabuso, and then answer Criadano or Mampenancasa call Joe Biden, or Cocromo for Head Corso. And now, Ghana Gabacasa MP. The Osheta Mantem, the Tuaba, the Omutu Abama, no Kentucky, no, a friend of Mitch McConnell. Also saw Honra, and if you had an in, you know,
Senate. Okay.
Or not, or no na Joe Biden omo ye an interview na ninsem ni obe share one first paragraph if no be share be ya Mr. President question no okay. Na on the date na was December 11.
Okay. Remarks by President Biden on the severe weather that impacted several U.S. states. That's December 11, 2021.
Good.
Okay. Chase Center on the riverfront. Okay, Wellington. Okay.
Yeah.
The President. Good afternoon, folks. Sorry to get you down here late on Saturday afternoon, but I want to provide an update on the deadly and devastating tornadoes that moved across several states in the central United States, including touching down across 227 miles of Kentucky alone.
I think baby a question.
Okay. Mr. President, does this say anything to you about climate change?
Yes.
Question. Is this, or you conclude that these storms and then intensity has to do with climate change? Question.
Very good.
And President I'll say, well, all that I know is that the intensity of the water across the board has some impact as a consequence on the warming of the planet and the climate change.
And you know, Omanpenino or Giatum, Quambo say Ampa, or say an abano. Where don't you need to be about climate change? A woman's actually. And no umpire no more Glasgow. No more umpire every year. Or money share, I would be true. Times no more two mono, Ghana ni Amako Yasinina, America Yasinina, so G2 movie.
That's right.
Now said the Jackon crop of Francis a kind, or see what in the ladato scene a co. And the umpire sampling for you moon some into.
Okay.
And on what Jatum be. Now, Omoji two mono. And I made Chiramo says, "Damn no more Jesus and 2 mono." A year November 13, 2021. Said Dan, we are seno agiatomo say, a fee yemfa quashada in Siho. Maka is the poor binum a year, a mechanic argument a woman.
Okay.
Also, moon and yet, well, who yentina memenka. One a wound,
okay.
Me say, why agiatum? In Kratom, dear Bannon, dear dancers say, why agiatum? And to me, come out, answer. Says I know more is that form. And you have phone, above for Flusobeca and your phone and say, I you can't better him. I'm wow. A senior supposed to put almost yes, that form for him from Jill, no so free by every who said, you are you can't better him. That's what I wanted to go. Now, men found would you answer me, my dear. But I don't mean it's one.
But if I saw call Glasgow, no, almost ye documented, we endorse the document from the Vatican delegation.
As the pastor for Binum say, or who say I trust Sandy.
Wow.
Yes.
And then click on page 172, 173.
Oh,
yeah, focus here.
I inform who cry.
Oh, Mumi.
Oh, Mumi. You. What they about Metro Central.
Okay.
Ye more video torso and so on.
Okay.
Me fanka myself.
Production order room video 7. More room for my.
Hearing no objections, it is so decided. History has been made here in Glasgow. And what we now need to ensure that the next chapter charts the success of the commitments that we have solemnly made together. We can say with credibility that we have kept 1.5 degrees within reach, but its pulse is weak.
I don't know your sign Emma Kwaba view, Yaku video on Tianco evangelist on our tournament painting.
Papa no Casaino, a Lokshama. Or any or titreni or penia, we are see ye no say meeting we when I see we say so. Or no put a gave, me honey feeding by me so much. I didn't tell Haman or the boat and so on. I died for a dear son, I say, we are some no carnas or the boat of the assembly. We young ye, Opa Quayapi, and we. What they bought on now, they are both say, Crate Jacon Crop of Francis Diaban. A moon semno, ebwa a young such a yajin swat mo. Nasacratano, Cratafo ha a diosom unune a diosomians and page 172 173. A paragraph 237, I was screen so. A horn watcher say, Yem Paquas had an insil. Yem Fanya or Soda. Na Emma Yasina, near whom na ebesa yasas so yare ebesa ye no Nyankopɔn tem yade
ene ye yonku di pan so tem yade
eno na papa no de hama no bɔ hɔ na sɛ yade atom we eka ho bi eje for sɛ asɔfo na ɔmo binum nyam nyina asɔfo na ɔmo binum no enhu de ɛkɔso no afi ɔmo ankasa ɔmo sabasku eje for sabasku da bia ma bɔ ho de wura saa kasa ne ntina media babi saa asɔfo no so ɔmo tua sabasku ni bia me ntia sɛ ɔmo fra asɔfo ka yenyu ɔmo nyemprim mo ne nkɔbɔ mo so fura bisa eje de obem sabasku de je sɛ wo ba ye bɔ wo so a je sɛ wo de anenie
ene ye de twa fun
de ko sɛ ebesi saa
okay
ade ya ba sabasku yi mo eje for sabasku ma ba tiri so abeka ma san so de ababio sɛ je sɛ no wi ase no wo nyina kogu faako ɛna aka eje for nkwa mo faako ɛna mo sabasku de aba sɛ po France de krata ya ba a wa tro mo sɛ yempa kɔsɛ da ehome sabasku no ka ɛna mo kɔfa sabasku na mo so mo nka ye ɛno so mo nkosua ana ne ko be kakare betra ti so kan so a na ne mo nya se oh mo hu ye mo bo kakara wa ye ko ye ni
okay
da no a papa ne de hama ne boss wo no
me ba wo ba call da o de hama no boss no e bia SD ni bi o pa o ye Dalton Thomas kontrum finisu man nani adanse enti ne kum so nkuru so ayi hu ahwe sabasku no e page ben date ben se de be o no so ko hwe ne dia obetumi akohu
mo ananse enti eye May 19 branda ya tro ho the Sabbath and creation mo 2020 May 19 2020
Sabbath school na ya tro se bode chira won aban no
yes na woni ne ntia no munim no memble mo asofo no mo nsua de na mame nchiro ne ntia me ka so mo nsua de no ebra saa de sua ne bae no na omampani wodi ga na kwahye lockdown ye kwa sore
enti wo mo ti fia wo mo nsua Sabbath school no je so mba so dem e no mo ya be ka bo mo nsua no saa bre no mo nsua enti we ni twam sa do mo
twam wo fie saa ta ne nya so dem
that's right
ne wo lockdown obi a wo fie
that's right
enti saa sofo na mo nsua no omo mba so dem be titi asafo mba no ye be ka TV so abeka no no mo kwa so da
akose mu pententu
saa de
nyame ye hu
ye nante
okay
enche da no papa ne de governor e bo ho pan se ye wie no mo da no ka ho bi enye de hama no boss wo ye wie no
that's right
sa e na o kire mo se de ya ye no de eye na home wo mu no eswa enkwa wo mu no swa enti aka ho de ye be hye mo kina na aye dwuma enti se wiase na akohia age niam anyina to mo awia
that's right
aka ho den me pa cho eno mo ko gi to mo wo Glasgow no ba ko eye kwahia da so aye se yemfanya home na enya no pekeke ehye package mu me hu se na me senka no twi but ehye mra hodo mu ena ya agi atom enti se mra no mo hya se de yedwuma ena kwasa ne be pie no ye ba akomo eto so bio omo gi to mu se ye ntwa sika emma wiase ama ya hodo ye ehia ye no ni pa se sika ne enso mo asene no mo ntimi enya nyama bi ye eno so ye mra eno so no ebeba enti no efiri ho no ye ti ye se eye America opani bi afa no maktakano wakasa na kasa no kan no ene de omba be no ekosi edisem echedo ngotwe chechemu enum no so se ne boni atoato abeduru so se yesi oman boni atoato abeduru so ete se no wabere so onboni ko duru so no anye ye bi ya fa nche Sodom no wabere so meka na meka Genesis chapter 6 adansi enti verses 12 and 13 over Genesis chapter 19 verses 13 ehwa I say Sodom boni omuntiemu ene omuni eden abeduru ade ni ye hye wonom no wabere so hunam nyina wie ye aden abedu manim ye yomo firi ho osoma Jonah call Nineveh Jonah chapter 1 verse 1 and 2 o say omane boni abedu manim te ko bo mo kokko Babylon dada no de Nebuchadnezzar hye ho kom no dabi Jeremiah hye ho kom no also Sarah ne boni koduru ade nim no ye yiwon firi ho
that's right
entine ennese ye si Babylon boni akoduru ade nim o ne se boni na koduru ba bia ye di cha nye yi na meka no sanche se wiase akoje atomo se Nyankopon mra ye homeda no ye yi ne di kwasi adasom no abehye ni pa adwene mo enna ompeso mo ye no sa na obeka krata we amame takano na kasa yi ofri dai
California
yes
okay rep
representative
okay.
Yes
Takano statement on Congregational Progressive Caucus
yes
endorsement of 32-hour work week act Washington DC today rep that's Mark Takano. Or the article that was CA41 released this statement announcing that the Congregational Progressive Caucus, CPC, formally endorsed the 32-hour Work Week Act. This legislation will reduce the standard work week from 40 hours to 32 hours by lowering the maximum hours threshold for overtime compensation for non-exempt employees under the Fair Labor Standard Act.
Me pacho, brofo no matchere no. Me se brofo no me nhyada nti ase, me ma no we me kan na man ti ase a, me ma no de o makosu kakra chen na makodi nchirem. We da ho pray. Papa ne say, ono Takano, wodi adwinsusu ya aba. Say, enano a yedi adwuma no.
40 hours.
Yes, ye twa so. I 32. 32 hours say yedi enan nan e na be adwuma na wotwe biara. And on the to also say this legislation as a children say emre and that one. Or no susui. Say kane no ye adwuma enanum na wotwe. Ne di na mienu ahome. Say no wose enum no yenyi ba ko mfiri so. Ne yenya ne enan. Enan no susu ye be hya ne mra. Ye hye sa mra no a say na wotwe na ne yenso. Enti na se for twen dem bi.
Okay.
But they also need that ben. Hwede Takano no akasa da ben.
Okay, 12/7/21.
There we go. 21 year this year near Kasa. 12 no any December. 7 in 7 December. Young boy. As the possible. Now, and the papa actually say, or no diaco, and my sebadrum. Ma wanya omwa afuano so. And the affair ye better what the Nankasania bobo. Memfa the AC Ghana and Fanya Paton. Mempani Council acquire Santi. Yantihana and Yam for Sam George, Honorable Sam George. Ono kwa na tena se de ka se da bi e mani ma wade wo mpene so. E na wo di guru kata so, e de koye onya binum fo ano so. Enti onya dodo fo ano so no. Some de akoto wo se se Ghana for dem mobo hu. Say that parliament.
That's right.
E no bi na papa na ye no. Ono kwa na tena hu se da bi America for edwuma brado. Enti na nanum no e de edwuma no. Ye nyi ba ko mfiri so na nka nan. E na ono atwere. E na ode akoto wo. E na dom afo ano so se de oba na ye fo aso. Yen kan ya pe mfa nhyemra. And you nyashembra ne pe kwese da waka me da waka
and what just wo be adwuma wo sanda no e overtime
ye ba so
tua wo bibi
and no so ne ekoyi fine and you okay MSNBC for news ye di Takano de beto ebrenti ye boso mako be 1-2 paragraph more Americans work far blah 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 more than yes
Americans work far far more than people in most other affluent countries. December 13, 2021
fine
by Zishan Aline. Okay.
I feel the Congressional Progressive, yes.
Okay. The Congregational Progressive Caucus, the biggest bloc of liberal lawmakers in Congress,
yes,
on December 7th endorsed a bold bill proposed by Rep. Mark Takano, the
Democratic California.
Okay, California. Okay, which would seek to implement a 4-day work week.
Brofo na bi mo ahabo de se wate so wa brana so say the liberal lawmakers lawmakers here omo a ehemra age atom se omo ji tom busumi yi memu ne de to sonson na omo ji tom se de Takano de aba no ye ehemra no ye fo aso so on say that city na ne mfo aso no huma no doso ye mfa no ye nsan kan ba ko biem we ye 10 WBN for ede no ye be kan de be si be a red no pa ne etwa so.
Okay. 4-day work week gains support among members of Congress. The Congregational Progressive Caucus endorsed a bill by Rep. Mark Takano from California, known as the 32-hour Work Week Act.
Thank you. Bra Columbus, Ohio.
Okay. Date in Oaxaca. Okay, December 10th, 2021.
Yes.
Columbus, Ohio. Some lawmakers in Washington, D.C. are pushing for the United States to adopt a 4-day work week as the idea is gaining popularity around the world. Around the world.
Said the air so no. We are panan nyina no so the air koso.
That's right.
So on Tuesday.
The Congregational Progressive Caucus endorsed a bill by Rep. Mark Takano from California, known as the 32-hour Work Week Act.
Yes.
that would create a 32-hour work week with overtime paid after 32 hours of week.
And you know, yeah, the nine every year, Juma. Diakano, overtime. Move me, Juma, said, I'm not just so tria me cabroso. Now, your phone tias and easy 42 now, so for no Monchas of a school year, no Montias, say. You call Glasgow, no. Because I said, I know your years in chain.
That's right.
And the enca and none with dear Jumano. I can see ya. Enciano, opening see the and 9 and a bear a bind the idea, Juma. You know, I cannot perceive me, Juma, you know, so I do try me over time. The Omodibani.
Okay.
Yampa video, I can am watching. And Sanyaba.
I don't see into Tumbrania Tracy. Production videos 8 to 10.
Work-life balance and increase workers' performance. And now the change is gaining support among some members of Congress. This week, the Congressional Progressive Caucus, a group of nearly 100 lawmakers, formally endorsed the 32-Hour Workweek Act. The bill wouldn't eliminate 40-hour work weeks. It would require employers to offer overtime pay after 32 hours. Alex Pong now, 4-day workweek advocate and author of the book Shorter, Work Better, Smarter, and Less. Here's how. Alec, thanks. Welcome. Seems like a big sea change, but what if this is all just a pandemic fad?
Hours a week in factories.
Just this week, California Congressman Mark Takano introduced legislation to shorten the work week.
On that 5th day, they're going to have to pay overtime. And for most workers, this will amount to a 10% pay increase.
Overseas, Spain's government is paying companies to test out this idea. Other countries have
to shorten the work week from 5 days to 4, gaining momentum around the globe. This week, the United Arab Emirates announced a plan to transition to a 4.5-day work week starting in January. Weekends in the Gulf nation will now last from Friday afternoon to Sunday. Currently, the UAE weekend is Friday and Saturday, which is the standard in many predominantly Muslim countries.
I don't know, Mamma Kwaba view, Openiba Kwan or Air Force Base, Takrade, on Dompedidi. In Sabbath school would trap in the picture page and I evangelist I can't was Sabbath school would trap and was sending their brain and said, yeah, can you crap? Opening your means out. Evangelist.
Yes. Now, as I mean, videos and so on. The Bible test be able screen so. Now, I have formed 1 million kind. Don't the bear me baha and said, bro, for no, the Guadacanina, Mrs. Sanina, Buano, Namida Bedruha, Ezekiel 46 verse 1. Or D for Ezekiel. Brofone say, thus says the Lord, said as I was seeing, the gate of the inner court that looketh toward the east shall be shut the 6 working days. I want to hear me casino. But on the Sabbath it shall be opened, and in the day of the new moon it shall be opened. So
Ezekiel chapter
46 verse 1.
Okay, yentie Erade asem. Se Erade Nyankopon asie ni mo apanwa pon kese a ehwe apuye no. Wontum adwumaye na insia no enyina.
Yo.
Okay.
Adwumaye na ensia. Se Bible say
na homeda na de. Wonhini wonhini.
Yes.
Na bosome foforo eda no so wonhini.
Adwumaye da ensia. Yes, na Bible kan.
6 working days.
Ene America takanu what the base adwumaye da ne enye ne dan. 9. Video no ese kire say United Arab Emirates. Omumpo de omosi ye afi kwa wie ya etwi da di kan no. Omo di kan.
Wow.
Ewo 9 omo de omosi efiada. Yi premoto ebo 12 a. Omo so ahye weekend mu. Nti efiada no half day.
Wow.
Memenda kan ho ene kwasi ada so omanya 2.5 days weekend. Takano de oso ene de kosi ya wada. Efiada memenda ene kwasi ada. Miensa yi ena se yinyim firi so.
That's right.
And now United Nations eyi kwasi da firi so da ne ho de yanka. Nti aka fiada ne memenda. Bible so say enano edi enwuma na yesai ensia. Sa na Bible aka. Enti ensia no momeda na wo so no ebedru memenda. Enti we adwuma na ensia no a memenda ne onyankopon homeda kai na ye no kronkron. Bible de ni. Taka no wo ba no. Wo say ne yemfa no enan. Ti enan no ne de di kan no ehya ase adwoada. E was the first Sabbath school no me go to sa na wo omo hwe sa me 19 asofo yin hwe Sabbath school no omo no mo di asafo made no ye che ne mabone no ka asafo mo hwe mo yi sa asofo no maka mo fa mo nkotra fi no mo nko sua de na papa na wo
mo kode
papa na wo no ma di animu na okun ye ntimi kokun no de adro no de
on sua de no beto kan no so tutum pentin
sa de
serious
Takano the America si e kwaji atum ni na otwe na no o me sha se firi juada enti be adwuma juada branda wo kuada ne yawada enan efiada ne memenda ne yeton so ma me adwuma fiada wo betua me mprenu wo ma me adwuma memenda wo betua me mprenu kwasiada de emretia me nya adwuma wo me ma me wiase ka nyina kura no a yuan se saida no ye home antu yes antu antu eno ye de sa wiase ne yade eno mo akire se emrahye badwa wo America na e ka sa asemi de ba no ezefo twenda yi na anya bia fo so omonsa mo ba na obo tonto sansa se me be hye kwese da mra wo be hye kwese no ane kwan yo fa so ewia eve no na eve na ne da so ewia be wia
that's right
and so if hu ya no ye wia no ene me no mie no me bisa ezefo omo kodua nua no mo nim se nua na efri popo ne bae da bi so mo kodua ai
omo so mo nya krata efri o mampani ho
no kre bisa mampani se krata no ye gifi
ya gifi UN ena UN so gifi
Vatican enti nema ne ye ka mo ko mo hwehwe mo ansa na makwana da asafo ma no bi no
that's right
sa na tie nsem no bebre ho ya ti o ne ba ne ya ye din na to de bia ya na ya se enipa ni bi ayira enam sa afo no bi nti na to de bia ba TV so na cheche enso ye die ni bre kasa no ba mo bo se sofo de sofo untimi ntua sabasko hu we wo mo se ezifo aka we last year 2020 se pope de kata ko UN ema UN di kwasi adam ra beba we wo so hu sabasko
ade no so kra wo kan omo Ellen G. White enwoma kodo a spiritual prophecy actual na bebre hye mo kena se kwan a kwasi ada som ye be hye no kena na ye tu nya me homeda na gu no sa kwai ni enam kwai no so na so bi no mu huni
me kan ha se ye kan ha na me sanka bio se ye call Glasgow no wiase age atomo se yanyi ade ni tu yanyi kwasi ada mra ni tu eno ya age ato na me kan se efiri ho a America na be di kan nya to sansa na asha se
America di kan
se Biden ka kire mo se ba ya ba meeting no ya metra table na chike kese otitani
na mum to play the lead role
sa ye ba se be di wi ache no kan
back
sa enti no o firi ho no se America na pagya se Ghana nko nso America di kan o mampani nya oni Biden nya na committee ade na mampani aba no Ghana parliament nka hwemfa no o se America asha se
that's right
sa na de ne tie
e from esuafo de hye Kofi Kakari na me akwa wonam na so kasa kire ye hira ye ne no evangelist the Daniel of our time Joseph anane evangelist nankopon hira papa enti da wo hwe se ne wabra bo no nsia kobo no nso no edi yemre ebe bo akwan so bi okai ebe me hu no kure no na no kure no aye ade hye edamos